Have you ever had one of those moments where you thought, this is such a small decision, it doesn't really matter, only to realize later that the little decision changed everything? Maybe it was taking a different route to work and you avoided an accident. Or maybe it was saying yes to something small and it opened a huge door in your life. Here's the truth. God cares about the big things, yes, but He also cares about the little ones. And His wisdom isn't just for life-changing decisions, it's for everyday life. Proverbs 2:6 states, "For the Lord gives wisdom, from His mouth come knowledge and understanding." Today, we are going to explore how to invite God's wisdom into not just the major turning points, but into the ordinary moments of every single day.
Upon the winds of hope we climb.
Joshua was leading the Israelites into the promised land. God was with them, and nation after nation was falling. Word spread quickly. Everyone feared Israel because they knew God was fighting for them. But one group, the Gibeonites, came up with a plan. They could defeat Israel in battle, so they decided to deceive them. They dressed up in old rag clothes. Their sandals were cracked and falling apart. They packed moldy cheese and worn wineskins. They then approached Joshua's camp, pretending to be travelers from a faraway land. "We've come from far away," they said. "Look at our clothes. They were new when we left, but now they're worn out. Look at this bread. It was fresh, but now it's dry and moldy. Make a peace treaty with us." Joshua and the leaders examined everything. The story seemed believable. The evidence looked convincing, so they made a treaty. But here's the key detail the Bible gives us. The Israelites sampled their provisions but did not inquire of the Lord. Joshua 9:14. They didn't stop to ask God. Just days later, the truth was revealed. The Gibeonites were not from far or distant land. They lived nearby. Joshua had been deceived, not because he lacked strength or intelligence, but because he didn't pause to seek God's wisdom. Think about that. Joshua wasn't defeated on the battlefield. He was defeated by stale bread and cracked wineskins because he relied on appearances instead of God's counsel. And isn't that the way it often happens to us? It's not always the major battles that undo us, but the small, everyday decisions where we lean on ourselves instead of asking God. Proverbs 2:6 says, "For the Lord gives wisdom. From His mouth come knowledge and understanding." Wisdom doesn't come from gut feelings, good intentions, or appearances. It comes from the Lord. And He wants us to ask Him for it, not just in emergencies, but in everyday life. Joshua's mistake shows us this. No matter how strong we are, no matter how obvious a situation looks, without God's wisdom, we are vulnerable to deception. Now let's get practical. It's one thing to say, seek God's wisdom every day. But how do we actually do that? How do we make wisdom more than just an idea and turn it into a lifestyle? The story of Joshua and the Gibeonites teaches us that it's not always the obvious things that trip us up. Wisdom is built in the small, consistent habits of our daily lives. So here are 3 simple but powerful ways you can start walking in wisdom every single day. Firstly, start your day by asking for wisdom. Every morning is filled with choices, some small, some big. Before you rush into them, take a moment to pray, "Lord, give me wisdom today." That prayer prepares you for the unexpected the tough conversation, the sudden challenge, the decision you didn't see coming. God's wisdom covers it all. Secondly, pay attention to the Holy Spirit's nudges. God often speaks in quiet ways. That sudden hesitation before saying something harsh, that check before signing a paper, that thought to reach out to someone, that can be the Holy Spirit guiding you in real time. Joshua was strict because he only looked at what seemed obvious. We avoid deception when we slow down and listen to God's whisper. And thirdly, trust God with the seemingly small decisions. We usually invite God into the big stuff: career changes, health crisis, major purchases, but small decisions shape our path too. The way you spend money, your time, your words, they all add up. Joshua's downfall wasn't a war, it was bread and wine skins. That's why we need God's wisdom in both the small and great. Wisdom grows step by step. Each decision, small or large, is a chance to build in God's foundation. Today we have seen that God's wisdom isn't just for the big, life-changing decisions. It's for the everyday moments that shape our lives. Joshua's story reminds us what happens when we rush ahead without asking God. But the good news is this: wisdom is available to us right now, every single day, because the Lord gives wisdom to those who seek Him. So keep inviting Him into your daily choices and you'll see His hand guiding your path. If this message encouraged you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with someone who needs God's wisdom today. And if you'd like to go deeper, my devotional 31 Days of Wisdom, a devotional journey through Proverbs, is available now. The link is in the description. Until next time, walk in God's wisdom and let Him guide your every step.